everyone. Welcome to the Reality Unloaded podcast, where we'll be reviewing our favorite shows and your favorite reality TV shows. Today, we're covering the challenge All Stars 4, episode 11. It's your girl, Keeks.
I'm Lina D.
And I'm Brendan.
And again, welcome to the Reality Unloaded podcast. Again, we're reviewing the challenge All Stars 4, episode 11. We're one episode away from the actual final. And we got a little taste of it this episode, but I can't believe it like went so fast. Like, I can't believe we're about to cover the last episode of the season, which is crazy, guys. It's been a journey, but let's get right into it. Lina's gonna start us off.
Yeah, definitely crazy that we're here at the end, but the episode does have a funny opening. We see Ace talking to Steve and Cara, and Ace is asking Steve, man, how are your knees after that last elimination with that 12-foot jump? Steve is kind of explaining that he was actually just trying to land like Spider-Man, but he was like, oh yeah, I'm 45, and remembered his age. So, again, kudos to Steve for winning that elimination.
Steve with the mega knee.
I don't know if we mentioned it last episode, but when I was watching that elimination, every time he jumped, I was like cringing the whole entire time because I didn't want him to like blow his knee. So it was funny when they mentioned it.
Yeah, or get hurt. Yeah, but he did that. Like, he shows you that 45 or not, he killed that elimination, man. We also kind of see Adam, talking about how Steve betrayed him. So going back to that narrative, and really saying that he's planning on doing whatever it's going to take to steal Steve's star. We also kind of break down, really the first half of the episode kind of was slow getting into it, but we do see Flora again talking about how baffled she is that she has made it to the end, talking about how she feels beat up. And they go on showing a montage of kind of her performances throughout the season. I thought it was very funny. Y'all, what are our thoughts about Flora being here at the end?
I mean, they gotta carry somebody. But it does show that Flora did have a good social game, even though we didn't see much of it. To the point that like she was not targeted much, and she never even went down to the elimination sand. So that goes to show that she was doing something right in the house to survive for that long. But before we get back into Flora, Adam, I'm so lost as to what betrayal he's talking about, because you voted Steve in. So he rightfully took your star, and it is what it is. Like, I'm just surprised that he's upset Steve reacted. Anyway,
He sounds delusional to me, to be honest. Like, I'm watching it back like, okay, but do you not understand that you literally sent this man in after talking about a however many year friendship, and you're just so baffled as to why like he would do this to you? Like, it's not making sense to me at all.
I think we can all agree that Adam throughout the season was really flip-flopping sides. A lot of the comments he made really didn't make sense. Like, Adam was playing an individual game, and I don't think his social game was truly as strong as he thought it was. But he definitely was very flip-floppy throughout the entire season with friendships. But moving... Oh, that's true. That was his girl, but hey, we'll see later on. Neither of them made it to the final, so maybe you should have picked a better partner, sir. Anyway, keeping it PG-13, we go into Nicole talking about, she's talking to Laurel. Nicole does kind of, in her confessional, say that she has a little bit of mixed emotions. She wants her girl to go to the final, but she's also nervous to run a final with Laurel. We all know Laurel has been a beast in her previous seasons. What are we thinking? Like Laurel, Nicole, do we think Laurel would protect Nicole in the final, or would she actually play an individual game if they both make it?
I mean, I think Laurel would definitely go out of her way to protect Nicole. Like she's done it throughout the season. I don't know why Nicole now is just all of a sudden thinking like, oh, like love her, but don't really want to run against her. Like you should have thought about that from the very beginning before you started hooking up with her. I mean, that would have been like smart logic, no?
There.
Or you should have been encouraging her to go down in the elimination stand instead of not, because apparently you and Ryan convinced her to not go in due to how the elimination looked. So maybe you should have considered it then. That was your perfect opportunity.
Production, hiding these important stories that we missed throughout the season. The challengers are basically now getting ready for what feels like another daily challenge. Everyone's kind of a little questioning what's going to happen, right? To all of our non-star holders, which are Laurel, Flora, Avery, Adam, Ryan, and Derek. The challengers show up to meet with TJ, and TJ announces that the 6-star holders are officially in the final and they have a day off. Woo! A little movement. And I have to say, okay, let's talk about it because, you know, now the 6-star holders are happy, are excited. Cara Maria makes a comment to Veronica and goes, "Congratulations, Veronica. You really did it. You killed it." Was that shady?
It was, but it's true.
Right?
It's true.
But I'm not mad at Veronica. I think she played a smart ass game.
It might have been shady, but I think she also was like, you know, good for you too. Like I don't think she was like saying it in a demeaning way. I think they've done a few challenges during Cara's time, and I don't think Veronica's been to the final
she said it
Cara
since
was there. So.
Yeah, she said that she has not been to a final since Inferno 2.
Correct. Yeah, so, she said she's 2005.
Yeah,
it's about to be 20 years.
Play of
it's
words.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
But good for Veronica.
Yes,
I was happy.
However, sure. I will say I kind of wish. Well, actually, continue, and then I'll say what I wish would have happened with the rules of this announcement, or like what could have happened.
So basically, TJ announces that there is a twist in the game. They are giving out 2 more stars. So they're giving to the strongest female, or the female and the male that win that daily challenge will receive stars and will have punched their ticket to the final. So a little twist. We see 2 more stars come in. I'm not a fan of this. I don't know. What are y'all thinking?
Okay, so for me, I want to say that I wish the star holders didn't get the day off. I'm sorry. I really wish they didn't get the day off. I really wish they would have shook it up and just said, we're actually going to cut 2 of y'all star holders, and whoever didn't win a star in time, like you're automatically purged. Like you're purged right now. And I feel like that would have shocked everybody. And I feel like it just would have been a really good twist because, again, I think they all were expecting at least one more chance to earn a star. And I feel like TJ should have been like, y'all didn't take it seriously. A lot of y'all didn't even bother going down or, you know, earning a star yourself. So you're purged. Bye.
And so then, what I think should have happened is the 2 people that end up winning that challenge. Not the star holders. They could sit, chill, whatever. The 2 people that ended up winning should have been able to choose one of the star holders to go against and try to get the star against them. And then if they earn the star, then there's your final, 8? And that's it. But I don't think they should have just gotten a star so easily from winning a challenge.
But so you're saying that there should have still been 8 or 6, because if the 2 that won the daily challenge went against star holders, it would have still been a final 6 versus a final 8.
No, I think it's a final 8. Aren't there 4? There's 4 people. No?
So there's 4 people because the 2, Derek and Laurel, were able to get another star. But originally it was only 3 men and 3 women. There were 6 stars. Yeah.
You're correct. Yes. So that would have been fine. But at least they would have been able to, there's been so many damn people. I can't remember. But at least they would have been able to like earn their star as opposed to just gotten their star from just winning a challenge, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. I would have liked that too. That would have been cool.
And maybe we could have seen the Cara versus Laurel situation that we were supposed to.
Showdown. Yes. But listen, Laurel and Cara kept talking about, like, you know, we hear Cara saying that, like, if she beats Laurel, like, that's kind of the priceless cost. Like, it's bigger than $250, because there is kind of a back and forth narrative between Laurel and Cara, who's stronger. So I know there's some unsettled business there that the girls want to prove. Either way, so TJ makes this announcement and we go into the daily challenge, Starborn. Brandon, break down the game rules for us.
All right. So this game is called Starborn. And basically the challengers have to race through a forest to get to a tree with a raft hanging from it. And then players have to basically untangle the raft and use it as a paddle, or use it to paddle to a floating star in the middle of the water. And then underneath the floating star, there are keys. From there, the players need to get the key and the paddle to the other side of the lake and then unlock it through there. And then they need to search through filled with sand and dirt to find the star, basically. And then the first man and woman to get their star will then basically get their ticket to the final.
Yeah. So they're basically searching through a trough to find the star. And yeah, the first man and woman to get their star, get their ticket to the final. Before it even starts, someone quits. Keeks, who quits?
Flora. Flora, I mean, like, let's be for real. Flora was not doing that. This is a mini final. Flora is not doing that. And Flora was already going through it. She was bruised up. It was just looking bad for her. I felt really bad. And TJ's like, you know, I don't like quitters, but sure.
Yeah.
Fine. And I was like, TJ, she could be your mother. Relax. So
I wasn't disappointed. I think Flora overall, like, she never quit throughout the whole entire competition. Mm-hmm. She's done everything that they've thrown at her, and she's older than a lot of these people. Even if it's by a few years, she's still the oldest person there, and I give her kudos. If she knew her body couldn't handle it, then that's perfectly fine.
Right. Especially that these motherfuckers, they don't have the best insurance, and healthcare in America is a scam. So I do not blame Flora for being like, I'm going to respectfully bow out.
Yeah, and Avery had the same sentiments, basically. She was like, I don't consider it a quit. I consider it that she listened to her body. I do wish that Flora would have at least tried, to be honest with you. Like, some part of it, maybe not giving it 100%, but I would have liked to see her kind of try. That's kind of my sentiment.
She was happy she got to that point. I think she knew she's not going to win against Cara. She's not going to win against Laurel. She's not going to win against Avery. She's not going to win against Nicole. Like, she already knew.
But I feel like if you put so much time into it this far, at least just try. Like, don't go out with the sentiments of you quit. Even if you lose, just try. I think that would be something I kind of wish I would have seen out of her, because I think she has attempted a lot of things that she was scared of throughout the season. So this would have been a really good way to end it. But again, Flora, I respect your decision. You are listening to your body. All is good. But we definitely see Derek and Laurel taking the lead through this, and they are our winners for the challenge. What did you guys think about this challenge? Brandon, what were your thoughts about it?
I mean, I thought it was, I'm not gonna say easy because I think the paddling part was the hard part, but in the beginning when they were just like running and untangling, it looked like we were playing in the backyard, to be honest. I thought it could have been more competitive in a way, like harder. This is the final star, so I don't know. I wasn't too thrilled with it. But what about you, Keeks?
I agree. I definitely think the challenge wasn't challenging. It was a easy thing, and then like obviously anything related to like the water, paddling, swimming tends to be difficult for most people, so I knew that was going to be the moment where you really see who can take the lead or not. But yeah, I was just like, I don't know, I just feel like more could have been done. And again, it just goes back to my original idea that I really wish they would have just like made this a battle between the folks that already had the stars. Granted, even though like I'm very happy that Derek won, I'm very proud of Derek. Because I always wanted to see him like really take it far. But especially with his last few like appearances on the show. But I was just like, I kind of feel like they need to shake it up a little bit. Like people are a little bit too comfortable. And also like they knew that production was not going to allow them to not have a chance. So I don't know. That's just the only thing that threw me off. Definitely could have been a little bit more challenging. I don't know what they could have done a little bit more differently. Maybe like add like a puzzle in order to
that would have been good.
Is something like I just feel like
that would have been like an equalizer, like
right,
something like
right.
I don't know.
Before
I feel like
before they made it the paddling or the
I feel like this final star thing. She did, but I feel like this final star situation could have been the whole episode. They could have made it a mini final before the final, because again, you're just getting a star, so you shouldn't technically just get it off of this one competition. But that's what I don't know. That's my thoughts on it.
And everybody who was there actually didn't go into an elimination with the exception of Adam, right? All of those non-star holders had never seen an elimination before.
One of them could have, or two of them could have.
Yeah.
Avery and Laurel, I think, right?
Yeah,
three of them, because Ryan didn't go in either.
That's true.
Oh, yes, that's true. So a few of them could have.
Yeah. So I agree. They definitely should have spiced it up a little bit and really made them work for it, since they didn't have to do much throughout the season to earn a star. I agree. But, you know, again, Derek gets the win. He's elated. He really kind of says this win is for him and his sister. Laurel actually has a moment where she breaks down after the win and talks about how her previous challenges, she really was overcoming personal obstacles and really didn't care about anybody else when she was in competition. Whereas she's saying that this challenge, she really focused on personal relationships, personal friendships. And I think that's very interesting, especially since we kept saying that Laurel is a different competitor this season, and not necessarily in the best way. What did you guys think, Keeks? What did you think about kind of her little speech about previous versus now?
Yeah, her little montage. I mean, yes, like in her previous seasons when she was younger, she was always confident, but there was like an arrogance that like just an arrogant like air about her back then. And yes, I do think that like when it comes to her personal relationships, it has not been shown in the best light this season. And apparently there's more to the story, or like it's a lot messier than what we've seen. So I do think it's very interesting. I do think that obviously the amount of emotions that she's feeling, obviously undergoing this whatever it is with Nicole, is weighing on her, on top of the stress of like wanting to make it to a final, not being able to secure that spot until she got this star. I think she's just feeling a wave of emotions, and that's why she was also a little bit emotional about it. And Laurel also has not made it to a final in a long time.
Very true.
It's been a minute for Laurel. So, but yeah, I hope this is the last time we see sloppy Laurel.
I don't think Laurel has changed. I think Laurel has always been, so Laurel's always been someone to, like, if she doesn't agree with something, she's gonna put her foot down, whether it be like telling you like I could beat you or yelling at you. That's always been Laurel. She's always spoken her peace of mind. I think the only difference is this time around is she's not only playing for Laurel, she's playing for Nicole too. So like, I don't know. In that aspect of things, I don't think she's, and this is not saying anything bad about her growth. I think she's still the same person. It's just that her head is now worrying about someone else to make it to the final, if that makes sense. As opposed to before, it was just her.
Okay.
That's true. I also think that the difference now too is that Laurel is self-aware of these character traits that she possesses, whereas back then she wasn't fully, like, she didn't see herself on multiple seasons. Like now she has that to look back on and reflect on it. And I think her being self-aware, right? Her being self-aware comes across as like she is actively working on these things. Not necessarily. I just think Laurel also knows how she looks now, if that makes sense. Like I don't think that she's changed all that much. Like you do see some of those moments peek out of her
outbursts. Yeah, her outbursts are still there.
But I do think that she's aware.
But I agree with you. I think she's a little bit more mature in that aspect. Yeah.
I have to disagree with you guys. I don't know that she's matured. I understand the self-aware aspect. I still think that Laurel really allows her emotions to overcome a moment, and she doesn't know how to kind of silence that emotion and sit in it and understand it before she speaks. So in terms of self-aware, I definitely understand that, you know, she sees the way others see her as a competitor. I think she has recognized previous faults that she has done, but she is nowhere near matured or grown out of it. And I think, again, that outburst with Cara Maria really shows us that.
Well, she was actually, I don't know if she was on a podcast or she like said it in a post. She said after that outburst, I talked to Cara and I apologized for how I came off, that she didn't mean to do that. So even Laurel doing that, she just said, like, I guess it wasn't interesting enough for production to show and it didn't make the edit. But even Laurel doing that and saying that she did that is very much different from the outburst that Laurel could have put out before, because she just would have been like, okay, screw you. Not into it.
Yeah, but to me, listen, words are words. Actions speak so much louder. You can't do the damage and say sorry, right? The damage is out there. The pain has already been created. The scar is there. So yeah, thanks for apologizing, but let's also recognize that you did it. And it, you know, Cara may accept it, but she won't. And I shouldn't speak for Cara Maria, but again, speaking for myself, if you yell at me, yeah, I'll accept your apology, move forward, but I won't forget it. You know, like it still happened. So
and what makes it harder is that we've seen that relationship, Cara and Laurel, just always be like, it had its sweet moments, but we've always seen Laurel be the more dominant one in that relationship. So like, it put a sour taste, I'm sure, in all of our mouths when we saw it, because it just kind of brought me back to like the old days. So
yeah.
I'm sorry. I was laughing because I don't know, you saying that, Lina, reminded me of Lauren Conrad and Heidi Montag from the Hills, and like
Oh, that was my
and
show.
Lauren telling Heidi like, I want to forgive you and I want to forget you. That is like the relationship between Cara and Laurel.
Correct.
I don't know which one is teardropping like Laurel certain instances. They kind of switch sides, but it's very much that.
It was very much that. No, Keeks, that is so spot on. I love that. Shout out to the Hills. That was my show, y'all.
Shout out to Lauren Conrad, okay? I know y'all was trying to make her the villain because apparently she was like a biatch behind the scenes, but I'm gonna stand for
Lauren?
LC. Right.
I thought she was like the sweetest person ever.
Apparently,
Lauren was just too nice for
villain.
me. I was Team Kristen.
Well, we're not talking about Kristen.
Well, I'm on the hills. Sure, Lauren, but on Laguna.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey Siri, play Coming Clean.
Kristen was a bad bitch. Okay, yeah. Kristen was a bad bitch. So she still is.
She still is, for sure. All right, different show, y'all. Bringing it back. You know, we see Avery saying her goodbyes, talks about how she didn't have some self-confidence coming in, whereas this challenge changed that for her. Ryan talks about Derek's win still feeling like a win for him. Again, I hope those sisters get to buy that retirement home in Phoenix. And again, he just kind of credits Derek being more capable than people give him credit. We see, go ahead, Keeks.
Adam. Let's not forget Adam loses. Y'all.
Does Adam say anything though? I don't recall him.
He's pissed. He's pissed. He can't really say much because he's mad as hell. He says something like, "Oh, love you guys," kind of thing. Walking away. But I'm like, not after you was talking all that mess about Steve.
Yeah.
Look at you. And none for Gretchen Wieners.
That's ugly is ugly, honey. Ugly gets what ugly deserves.
You ugly bitch, as Andrea would say.
That's just karma. Karma Maria.
That is karma. I love me some karma.
Karma Maria strikes again.
Yes. Speaking of Cara Maria, she talks about how beating Laurel in the final would be a priceless gift for her. You know, with all of the back and forth narratives on who's the strongest female. So we get to see them compete now in this final. And basically, Keeks, who are 8 finalists go into this final? Break it down for us.
All right. So our 8 finalists are Ace, Leroy, Steve, Veronica, Nicole, Cara, Derek, and Laurel. And those are our final 8, the great 8. And then next time TJ said TJ says that the next time he'll see them will most likely be the start of the final. So just be on the lookout for that. And then we get to the challengers going back to the house, and they're welcomed by charcuterie boards and letters from their families. Again, it's giving Big Brother, but I am so happy that they do not open these letters from their families and loved ones. Yeah. I did not want a repeat of what happened on season 39. It was giving CBS, and like, we just don't do that over here. Right? Was it not? It was giving like HOH letter from home. Like, I do not like that.
It gave all
it was giving Survivor energy.
Survivor does that too? Okay.
Yeah. Survivor does that. Survivor always does that, where they get a letter from their families like right before they go.
They get emotional.
Like, but at least it's not like Drag Race, where Drag Race like traumatizes the castmates by showing up, just pulling up the TV screen that the teachers used to roll in into the classrooms and be like, here, press play, start crying. So luckily it wasn't anything like that, but okay, they get to relax. They're drinking champagne, they're relaxing. Veronica mentions how she hasn't been in a final since Inferno 2. Ace says the same thing. Leroy obviously comments about how like he has so much more to fight for now. He's changed. And he even mentions his fake ass retirement. Like that retirement lasted 2.5 seconds. But then I think Veronica makes a joke about like them oiling her up or adding like WD-40 to her. And Leroy's like, yo, we're going to have to do that for you, give you a little tune-up to help you out. And then all of a sudden, while they're all chilling, relaxing, TJ comes by in an RV, pulls up, and then pretty much tells Cara and Derek, because he sees them, he's like, tell everybody to get ready, like it's time to go. How did y'all feel about TJ popping up in the house, picking them up in the RV? I really thought the RV moment was so cute. Definitely just shows
it was cute.
that
that
TJ and them, like
happy.
TJ's allowed to have fun with them, you know?
Yeah. Even when they were in the RV and like I think Laurel was poking Cara and then she goes, Teach, Laurel's poking me, and he's like, hey, leave your little sister alone. Like it was cute. It was giving family moment. I really love the dynamic TJ has with everybody in the house this season. I love the moments they showed with him. I love his softer side that they show. It was everything for me.
Completely different from 39.
Yeah.
From a lot of seasons. He's not like that in a lot of seasons, even when his like the OGs or like the golden era of the challenge people were there. He wasn't even this friendly. So I did appreciate that.
I think All Stars in general, he's just it's nice for him to see everybody returning, especially people that he hasn't seen for a while. So like he's like a proud dad, if anything.
Yeah. For sure. But y'all, the challenge starts. Like we're here. It is starting. Again, TJ reminds everybody that the first person to cross the finish line is going to win $250,000. Everyone else who crosses the finish line will share $50,000. And there's a little twist. So the challenge starting with 8 star holders, but he says by sunset, there will only be 4, or I think sunrise for the next day. There will only be sunrise for the next day. There will only be 4 in it.
Question, real quick: is the prize $250 for the person, or is it $200,000 for the first place person, and then everyone else splits the 50?
No, it's $250 for the first place person, and everybody else splits $50,000.
Oh, okay.
So 3 in total, 300.
Right, 300. I would be mad as hell if I gotta split $50K and it's taxed.
Seriously,
we ain't getting nothing,
and it's taxed. Damn taxes. But there are so this is going to be interesting because the challenge is the final, I should say, is actually a series of checkpoints. And he's basically saying that each checkpoint is either an elimination or an advantage. So throughout this episode, we're going to see 2 checkpoints. The first one is an advantage. The second will be an elimination. And TJ tells the competitors, you should fight for the advantage because you don't want to finish empty-handed. So Brandon, take us into that first advantage checkpoint. Break it down for us.
So this first checkpoint was called Shooting Star. And I'll be honest, this looked really, really fun. I'm not one for like a lot of like crazy stuff, but this I would actually do if I was like tied down. But
hold on, can I just interject? So I literally earlier this week watched the new Bad Boys movie, and this like literally brought me to like, I want to be on top of this car. I want to be like, I want that moment, that adrenaline rush. It seemed like a good time.
It does look fun. I would do it. So Lina, let me know. We'll plan.
Okay. Birthday is up for the 3 of us. Let's do it.
Hold on, I would do it. Like, don't leave me hanging. I would do it. I love shit like that.
The 3 of us. Yes.
Yes.
So basically they have to start off on the roof of a race car. And TJ explains that they'll also have a paint gun, and there's 100 paintballs in the paint gun. And the car will basically go around the racetrack with the contestant on the roof as fast as they can. And the contestant has to use the paintball gun to hit these star targets. Each target is worth 1 point. However, there is this one hidden target that is worth 2 points. So if you can find it while you're on top of the car and it's spinning and it's going crazy and hit it, you'll get the 2 points. And whoever has the most points at the end will win the advantage. So first up is Leroy. And he's basically talking about something that he's talked about before, getting this money for his wedding, to buy a house, and taking Kingston to Disney World. So what did you guys think about this moment?
Very cute.
I love,
but
yeah,
we heard it. We know the motivation, and you better get it done. And obviously, luckily, Leroy showed out, and he did well. But yeah, I mean, it's a cute moment. I do love this challenge so bad. Like, it is such a good challenge. Oh my god! And again, I love the fact that they cannot see the other challengers.
Yes,
like, I love that. But yes, with Leroy, with rooting for him, obviously, with the wedding, the house, obviously taking Kingston and hopefully his baby girl to Disney World now. But yeah, go ahead, Lina. Sorry.
No, I was going to agree with you. I love that they can't see each other. Like, they really have to come up with their own strategy. They can't really pick up the faults of the other competitors. We see it in the first checkpoint. We see it in the second checkpoint. I really do hope it continues throughout the final. I think it's a great kind of equalizer for all of the players and really will show. Listen, TJ said anybody can win this final. He has built it so that anybody can win. And I think, again, this will show our strategic players and will show who can pull out the win. It's not always physical. So I love it. But yeah, so like you said, Brandon, Leroy goes first. Again, they're all kind of talking that nobody really wants to give up strategy. We see a few of the other players go. I think as a whole, everyone did good, with the exception, I'm going to say Cara Maria. She looked like she really struggled with that. And I was surprised. I thought Cara was going to do a lot better. Brandon, I know she's your fave. What happened to your girl?
This is a carnival. This is a carnival game. So if you have a carnival game, like, granted, some people are going to do good, some people are going to do bad. I don't think she's sitting there shooting stars with a paintball. I think she said this is the first time she's ever used a paintball gun, if I'm not mistaken. She did. So that would be me on top of a car, because I've never shot a paintball gun either. So,
well, go ahead, Keeks.
No, I was just surprised by that too. I was like, Cara, like, what is going on? Like, I'm surprised. But you know who does really well? Derek, and he hits the secret star on the way, and he lets the other cast members know, like, hey, I hit the secret star, okay? And Leroy's like, okay, hold on. I'm going to have to keep my eye on Derek, because he's really sneaking up on us, which we've been saying all season, that Derek is like the dark horse. He's the sleeper pick, Nobody's expecting him to make it this far and do this well. So, but yeah, the car, like, what the hell happened? I'm just surprised by that. But then, yes, the top two and before. Yeah, go ahead, Lina. Sorry.
No, it's okay. And then, yeah, the top two players that come in are Laurel and Leroy, but Leroy does secure the win. I'm very happy for him. He does get the advantage, which actually comes in to the next checkpoint, which is an elimination checkpoint. I know. I feel like second half of the season has been in Leroy's favor, though. I have to say,
he got the fire lit under his ass. Like, he finally knew what he needed to do, and he's showing up now.
Yeah, he's doing it where it really matters.
Exactly.
Like, he's not fucking up where it really matters at this point. Like, you made it this far. Now you can't really fuck up at all. You better get your shit together. But yeah, so
take us into the elimination checkpoint.
Okay, so the elimination checkpoint is called Electric Star. And the game rules is that players will come in, the player to come in the last place will actually be dipping the hell out. They're going home, deuces. You don't have a chance of like trying to earn. No, it's over for you. So the point is a metal ring has to be moved around like an actual live electric star. And if the ring pole thing touches the star at any point, it will shock the contestants. It is also a timed challenge. So the player to do this, the slowest, is eliminated. Point blank, period. And again, they are doing this with no one watching. They are by themselves in a room with TJ, which is great. And Derek also mentions, you know, while they're talking about the rules and what's going to happen, he mentions that the last time he was shocked, it like popped his jaw out of its socket. And I said, oh my God, that is crazy. We learned. Yeah, that was crazy because I was just like, what? That painful? I've had like.
Well, how was he shocked?
I don't know.
He doesn't go into it. He just literally mentioned. It
had to have been like an outlet or something, because that's like, I feel like a different shock than this.
I'm not gonna lie though, I did definitely get shocked. Like I think it was like last year, pulling out an outlet. I touched the metal part. When I don't know if you guys have ever gotten shocked, but when I tell you my whole body, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Like my body was like in pain, like everything hurt.
Ooh.
It was intense.
That's crazy to me. Never gotten shocked, never shot a paintball gun, so I would be crying.
Honey, we need to get you out.
What's going on?
Maybe not the shocking. I think that you can live.
Don't be like Veronica, who apparently used to get shocked as a kid. I said, oh, what is happening?
We'll touch on that because I have words for that.
Yeah.
Oh my
for sure.
God.
So then TJ explains that Leroy's advantage is that he has a quarter of the star to go through. So, and he's also again the first one to do it. How did y'all feel about TJ's advantage to Leroy? Like what he was given. How did y'all feel about that? Did y'all think it was a good advantage?
So to clarify, he actually gets to start a quarter into the star. So he still has 3/4 of the star to
go through. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Listen, and I guess any advantage is an advantage because sure as hell I don't want to get shocked. So I think that's good enough, you know?
Yeah, I think as fast as he thought he was going, I saw people move faster. So like that little 3/4 advantage that he had, was probably worth a full star at that point.
And Leroy doesn't get shocked while he's doing this. So at least he did do it well. But then what I love about this is that he decides to be strategic and starts yelling at the top of his lungs to scare the other contestants. And I'm like, yes, this is smart. This is how you get them worrying. And you know what it is. And then he goes back there and he's chilling. He's like, yeah, no, like they really shocked me. It hurts. It hurts a lot. So everybody's stressing the hell out.
I forgot who it was when he was actually doing it. I think it was Cara. I think that was like, no, he's lying. But
right.
There was someone who's like, oh, that's strategy. I don't think it was Cara. I think it was one of the guys.
It was somebody.
It was somebody that
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you saw Derek. Derek was scared. He was like, what is happening? So he definitely ruffled some feathers, Leroy. I'll give you credit for that move. It worked for some.
And then what was so good about it was the fact that Nicole goes next and she actually gets shocked several times and she's screaming at the top of her lungs. So it just solidifies what Leroy just did. But then Nicole comes out of there and she's like fake crying to Laurel. And I'm like, is this what you do? Is this what you
do? Keeks
behind closed doors. Yeah, I was like, okay, like you didn't have to do all that. Like you could have just been like, yeah, it hurts, but to actually, I don't know, like to play it up like that.
She could have told her on the side, like, hey, pretend with me. I'm gonna cry.
Right.
But it's an individual game. Why would she do that? She owes her. She does not owe her that. So I thought it was strategic. I have to say, it annoyed me a little bit because I'm not a fan of Nicole, but strategically, it was a very smart. I'm sorry, you did very good at crying on the spot, sis. Like, your acting skills are up there because it's not that easy. So, kudos to you.
Yeah,
And
somebody got to give that girl an Oscar because the acting, I mean, like, it just made me wonder, like, were you acting like this entire time throughout the season? Is this how you were manipulating Laurel behind the scenes? Is this what Jay was talking about in his interview? That it was a lot worse than we saw what it was because you were playing Laurel like a freaking fool?
I mean, well, Laurel, let us know.
Right.
Girl, comment, let us know.
No, I think Laurel did say something. Hold on. Laurel did say something. I remember seeing that. Hold on, I gotta find it. Okay, hold on. She said,
all right,
yeah,
you
go
got
ahead.
it, Keeks? Yeah, well, Keeks is looking for that to fill us in. Ace kind of had a very different strategy where he was like, listen, I've been shocked. I think he said that he had electric fences for cattle and he just suffered through that pain and he finished surprisingly fast. Brandon, I know you like Ace. What did you think about that?
He finished fast, but you know who else finished fast? Veronica. And Veronica had, like you said, mentioned that she was used to getting shocked as a kid, like no big deal. When I tell you, seeing her go through this electrical star compared to the guys that were like screaming the whole entire time,
yeah,
it was so funny because she was not phased. She was like, I do this.
Oh, she was not.
Like,
yeah, she was. And I have to say, like, I remember when they started, when I first saw Leroy doing it, I was like, damn, the girls who are shorter are going to have a significant disadvantage because they have to kind of climb a ladder to get to or not like a step stool or something to get to the top of the star. But Baby V, she did that with no problem. I'm so proud of Veronica. She killed that checkpoint.
She was not phased. She
at all.
Again, this is like a second job for her at this point.
Yeah, this whole thing with Veronica, like just being like so unfazed by it, I was just like, okay, I'm surprised by this. Like, honestly, I was in shock that she did not respond. But I did laugh my ass off when Ace did that because why did it was him? It kind of felt like what's the teacher from Fairly Odd Parents?
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Crocker? Mr. Crocker?
Yes.
It was literally like that's exactly how it felt. And I was like, what is happening with Ace? I was like, Ace is gonna hurt himself before the final. This is crazy. But I guess you gotta try it. Like, why not try it? And then it turns out that the bottom two players are unfortunately Derek and Laurel, and we are left on cliffhanger, and I despise cliffhangers for the challenge so bad.
They should have just made this like a whole 2-hour episode. Why do the cliffhanger? We're already in the final. Like, it's on Paramount Plus. Like, just do
give it all to one.
Just give it to us. We waited already a year and a half for it. Like, just give it to us.
Like,
and so we're left on this cliffhanger. Keeks, did you find the Laurel comment?
So I think she deleted it, but it was something along the lines that she said, like, oh, we have no idea like how bad it is, and that's just like a glimpse of what Nicole would do to her. Because I just felt like that was just like emotionally manipulative for no reason. It just felt so odd to do. I understood playing it up.
Yeah, I would not do that to someone, like, especially someone that I have history, not someone that I'm just hooking up with in the house, but have history with. I wouldn't do all of that and mess up their game. Like, because if she was really serious, either one of them winning would have been fine.
And that could have been one of the reasons Laurel was in the bottom, right? Like, seeing Nicole react the way she did. We saw Laurel going in very cautious. She didn't get shocked because she was going so slow. So who knows? Maybe Nicole's move really did affect Laurel's game.
And another thing I want to point out that Laurel said, she said that she tore her MCL and medial meniscus right there in the challenge to get the star to go into the final. So at the start of the episode, she had already got I guess like when they were jumping in the bucket, she hurt herself. Like to get and to look for her, she like hurt herself there, apparently. And she said that she was really trying to hide
the trough.
The trough. She was trying so hard. I ain't never used that word in my life.
I literally, once Lina said it after I was saying through, I was like, wait, did I just mess up?
Totally fine.
Vocabulary for me.
No, it's totally fine.
You could have just said box.
Trough is a big word for Elmo. That's how I felt. Like I was like, huh? I'm
not gonna lie. I had to put my when they have like the words on the bottom of the screen. What is that called?
Captions.
The caption. I definitely had to put the caption on when they said trough because I was like, what? What is this? So yeah, I learned a new word. I learned how to spell a new word, y'all. So
shout out to the challenge for teaching us the word,
educating me about trough. But yeah, that's the end of the episode. All right, what are our feedback, overall reviews? How are we feeling about it?
Go ahead, guys.
I'll give it a 6.5 because I don't like cliffhangers. I feel like give us the whole thing. We've already waited, like Keeks said, and it's been like a pretty long season. So like this is what we've been waiting for. Just give us the whole thing. And then also I just didn't like the challenge to get a star, how not easy it was, but easy it was to get a star to qualify. It should have been harder. So
okay.
That's
I actually like this episode. I'm not gonna lie, I actually like this episode. I definitely wouldn't give it like a 9 or a 10, but I think like a 7.58. I thought it was entertaining. The final, the checkpoints, they're intriguing me. I really kind of like the strategy going in. I didn't mind this episode, to be honest. So yeah, I would give it about an 8. Not so much drama, but more of kind of seeing the competitors come into their own and really start this individual game. I'm excited to see the rest of the checkpoints. And I really do hope there is a span of like running where they're actually kind of racing each other. I would like to see that. So
that's what I feel like it was missing. I feel like at this point, what the whole challenge or what the whole final is going to be is just a whole bunch of checkpoints. Whereas we're so used to seeing them like run to checkpoints, out of breath, doing this. And granted, I get it. A lot of them are like a little older. So not everyone is 21 and doing whatever like a lot of these other people. But I've seen it on a few All-Stars finals. So it's just a little different.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I just think we're going to get that in that next half. But this also kind of reminds me of season 38, Ride or Dies, where they had multiple checkpoints. But I do like the way that this is set up so far.
Why do you think that is?
We know why that is. We know why that is. But I just think that like the good thing is that they're not really resting, how they allowed them on 38 to rest so many dang times. I just feel like, hey, like we're moving on to the next round. Hopefully there is more of that, actual like hiking, running, more physical work, more actual strategy games, etc. And I think we'll get that. But I do like the fact that this is different from what we've seen in the past. And I do like the fact that it's at least something fresh, whereas, and fresh in a better way, in a more positive way, because I feel like lately on the flagship, it hasn't been as positive.
Yeah.
So.
Fresh in a sense that it's like a lot of different, I'll call them carnival games. So they're equalizers. Like it's not necessarily like oh, it's a long, or oh, it's like a strength thing. So we obviously know
Strength based.
like Cara and Laurel are gonna be like the top two, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Agreed.
I agree. But that was that. I also give it an 8. I would give it an 8. Let's see if the actual final episode is going to give me everything that I want and more.
Yeah.
I hope it does not disappoint and ends like flat, because it's been like that the last few seasons on any of the franchises, to be honest.
I really hope, and I don't know if I forgot if TJ mentioned this or not. Did he say for the 50,000, everyone that crosses the finish line gets it?
Yeah. All of the people who cross the finish line will all split. The first person gets the 250. Everybody else who crosses the finish line gets split 50,000.
I was hoping he was gonna say like only 2 people.
Well, remember,
half and
starting the next, remember, only 4 are moving forward. So really, we're gonna have one winner, and I don't know if we're gonna stay at the 3 who cross the finish line or if they'll narrow it down to 2. We actually don't know what's
I
happening.
hope one of them gets cut, because then it'll add like motivation.
Yeah.
No, and on top of that, remember they're gonna cross. They have to cross to win the 50,000 or get some portion of the 50,000, and who knows if they're all really gonna make it? They could all tap out before.
You never know.
I mean, let's hope some of them get tired, because right now it's looking like a walk in the park. So.
Hey, I just hope they don't do something where they did for Challenge USA and gave them the dune buggies to ride up the freaking mountain.
I remember that. Yeah.
I was like, hold on.
Since when?
That was 1 or 2.
2. Remember, like, even though I'm happy about the winners, I did like the winners for Challenge USA.
Remind me who
2.
won.
Chris from Survivor and Desi from Survivor.
Oh, yes. See,
yeah,
I'm thinking of one.
Oh, no. But season 2, like, I will say that I was just like, okay, like, I'm happy about who won, but why are they having little AVs and dune buggies? Why are we doing that?
I mean, they did have to run to the dune buggies, so it wasn't like they were kind of chilling. There was like a situation where they had to run to get to them. So
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I just hope it doesn't fall short. Like, again, it's been a little bit on the iffy side when it comes to the finals lately. I feel like on the flagship show, they're trying everything possible to, freshen up the final, but it hasn't been working well. Like we saw with season 39, we weren't really happy with how that came about. I felt like, clearly the budget was not budgeting. And then yeah, those are my just thoughts. I just hope it actually plays out very well and does not fall flat.
I will say, and I will probably, I don't know, Keeks, if you mentioned it yet, but we're gonna review All Stars 5 cast speculation in another video, just so everyone knows. I will say, as much as I like when it's an individual game and there's an individual winner, I think I like more when there's a male challenge winner and a female challenge winner, because
for sure,
I feel like there's some advantages sometimes in certain things that one will have over the other. And I feel like we kind of saw that in 39. Not gonna lie. I feel like that was Narisa's to win, and she did not win, and that kind of pissed me off. So, yeah, we saw Cara win that season that she won, but I feel like with that they need to split it. So,
yeah, I get you. I see that for sure. And I was also pissed because I felt like Marie should have won. She should have been recognized as a female champ. And again, like, why the change?
She is, she's the champ, period. Nobody knows that man. So
yeah, like nobody even recognizes him for real. They didn't even pay him no mind. Anyway, enough about 39. That concludes our episode here for Reality Unloaded Podcast, the Challenge All Stars 4, episode 11. And yes, like Brandon said, be on the lookout for our All Stars 5 speculated spoiled cast. We found out what the theme is, and we're definitely going to cover that now that we know who is paired up with who. So yes, be on the lookout for our next review, which will be coming up soon for Drag Race, as well as our final review for this season of All Stars 4 next week. And make sure to follow us at Reality Unloaded Pod and Reality Unloaded Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.